Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are on the road to Ultra Nightmare. We are doing the free-to-play, and that's where we're at. I don't know why I opened with a picture of a Savage set deal that I can't buy. Because why? Because it's a free-to-play account. So no money spent, but we're making progress every day, getting a little bit further on. Now, I should let you know, we are on day 13 right now. I got my 500 energy yesterday, and I blew it all. Blew all of it. I say blue, obviously, I don't mean blue. I think it was quite well spent, and I actually have a lot of stuff to do today. My buddy's bachelor party's today, so I gotta get out of the house and go do that. So I got a lot of work in a very short amount of time. We're gonna see how much of this stuff I can get done. I won't do that all with you guys here, but it is something I have to do. But you can see here, no, I shouldn't do that. Let's go to my champion vault. There you go. So you can see I've got even more champions that are up to 4-star here. More champions that are ranked up to level 40. A lot more 3-star food chickens here. So, you know, my goal here is to get, I want to have, right, you can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4 4-star chickens ready to go. My goal is to have, what is it, 20 of them? So I can just rank 5 40 champions up and just, you know, straight up 6-star somebody. That's my goal. So got another 16 to go. But you can see this is all food I've got in the vault. These are all going to be potential 5-star champion, like 5-star food, right? These are all 5-star chickens right here. I don't really need to hold on to any of them. I know some people were saying Ripper could be good for the Scarab boss in Doom Tower. I'm not concerned. I don't think the early levels are going to be an issue where I need a Ripper, and later on I should have Destroy gear that could work instead. So that's not really a concern of mine. None of these other champions are actually going to be beneficial for my account right now. I heard some people say, what about bringing Coffin Smasher and Clan Boss instead of Elhain? HP Burn's great, and Coffin Smasher would bring in HP Burn. So in that sense, maybe it's not a bad idea. You know, having a second decreased attack champion wouldn't be bad either. But I'm trying to look as long-term as I can. And I know long-term, I'm not going to need them on my account. Venom Mage is going to do that job for me with the decreased attack, the HP burn. Like, he's just not going to be useful on my account right now. And you know, he's one of the few rare champions that I say, if you pull him, absolutely build him up, because he's really good. But every account is specific. If I didn't have a decreased attack champion, 100% he would be being built right now and being used. Just like the fact I don't have a poisoner on my account. So who am I building up and using? Outlaw Monk. And Outlaw Monk is improving my damage a whole ton. Yesterday I did about 1.4 million on Clan Boss. And then I brought in Outlaw Monk and we did about 2 million. So his impact is definitely noticeable. And that's kind of the thing, is you have certain roles, certain things that you need to fill. And I guess that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I don't know how perfect a conversation this will be, but the idea of what do I need and how do I bring it, basically it's the idea of being perfect with the imperfect, because none of these teams are perfect. They're all imperfect teams, right? When I'm doing Clan Boss right now, I 100% don't have a perfect team. It's a very imperfect team here, right? I mean, it's solid, right? But I'm bringing some of the stuff I need, right? So, you know, we talk about Clan Boss, we talk about all the buffs you need to bring, right? Ally protection, increased defense. We talk about the debuffs you need to bring: decreased defense, weaken, poisons, HP burn, decreased attack. The thing is, when you're building an imperfect team, like we all have at this early stage of the game, because we just don't have the champions to make it perfect, and we don't have the gear to even make those champions that would make it perfect themselves, right? So how do we get through it? Well, the basics of Clan Boss is do as much damage as you can and last as long as you can. And especially in the early stages, surviving becomes really important, because we're relying on debuffs to do the damage for us. We're relying on poison, we're relying on HP burn. We're not relying as much on raw damage. The more we rely on raw damage, surviving longer isn't necessarily always the best way, right? Sometimes you just want to punch harder then, right? Make sure, let's, you know, maximize the debuffs and the damage in the short time we have everybody alive. But when we're talking about damage over time abilities like poisons, like HP burn, then yeah, the longer we survive, the the more debuffs have time to tick down and the more damage we end up doing to the boss. So I think obviously the basic thing is let's get our damage in here, right? The overall thing is kill the boss. So I was running with just Venomage as my poisoner and I wasn't doing damage. I now have an Outlaw Monk and we're doubling our damage, tripling our damage, simply because we're bringing better damage to the team, right? He's not even good affinity for this. I already did a run where we did over 3 million damage, you know? So like that's a huge thing that we want to bring into the team. What else do we want to bring in? Decreased attack becomes the most important debuff because that is going to help extend how long we can stay alive. This is why so many people are suggesting Coffin Smasher, and it's not a bad suggestion in and of itself, right? Just the fact that he will help keep decreased attack up means that we will take half the damage over the course of this fight and survive, hopefully considerably longer. Now, it's not a 1-1 ratio as in damage you take surviving round survived, right? The damage scales up with the clan boss. So even something like decreased attack has diminishing returns over time. You have to have a certain, you need to have a certain amount of HP, a certain amount of defense to survive the hits even with decreased attack. One of the reasons why I'm not as concerned about it. I want it on our team and we will survive longer, but the amount of turns we're going to be adding isn't as drastic as people might think. But this is only because I already have a champion that brings decreased attack in Venomage. If I didn't have a Venomage on the team, 100% I would be bringing in Coffin Smasher because I do feel it is very important to bring that debuff to the table even this early in the fight. But the most important thing is going to be getting that damage for us, right? So that's what I have. Now I have champion like Elva. She hits hard, she helps heal, and healing is cool because now you're staying alive, right? So, making this team, this imperfect team work for me, these are the things I'm doing. I don't have ally protection, I don't have increased defense. I'm focused more on getting my damage out in a timely manner. Now, one of the great champions I would bring in this early would be a Jamarsa. She has an AoE revive. That could be really helpful for my team when they die, right? So if I can build her tanky, even if everybody else isn't quite as tough, she can bring them back to life. Or with a champion like Outlaw Monk, who's a little bit squishy, that could be someone to help keep them alive and, put in a lot of work there. Elva's kind of doing that for me right now, so I don't really need Jamarsa. That's kind of the advantage there. Deacon Armstrong, right? He's bringing decreased defense and Leech. The Leech is nice, but without War Master Giant Slayer, it's not going to be game changing for us. I wonder if maybe we don't even need that. That might be a position that I could substitute out, but I do like the turn meter boost that he gives our team. The extra turns are always really helpful, especially for a champion like Venomage, who has some longer cooldowns at the moment until I get them booked. So, some of the thoughts, some of the considerations that I've been having along the way here. And when you're building a team like this, if I could, bringing in one champion to keep everybody else alive. In my case, it's Elva. A lot of people that's a miscreated monster or some kind of ally protection champion, or maybe just a increased defense champion, right? Can be absolutely massive for helping your team stay alive. Just that one champion to kind of, just give you that little bit extra juice so you can, hold up. I mean, we're almost at 2 million and we're about 10 turns in, but we're also taking some considerable damage. If I had somebody to help protect my team a little better, I feel like we could last considerably longer. Certainly at full health considerably longer, and that would be really advantageous for my squad, right? So for me, I'm not as concerned about Outlaw Monk. He's only 4-star, level 40, plus he's a uncommon champion. He's gonna be the weakest out of everybody, but I'm looking at the, how much damage are my Deacon, is my Venomage taking, is my Rhonda taking. It's especially the level 50 champions. If it gets to too much, that becomes that threshold, and that's where we need to okay, how much can we improve it? And do we need to? How much time do I really need to put in to try and improve that? I don't really need to worry too much about Outlaw Monk. He's fine as a 4-star. This is fine. He's not a long-term champion on my account, so short-term, yeah, this is great. This will do. I don't need to invest more resources into him. And I think that's going to work out just fine. But you can see it's a pretty good little team here. Not a bad clan boss run. And I'm facing the same thing. We're facing the same thing anywhere we go, right? It doesn't matter if we're doing Dragon, Ice Golem, Fire Knight, the Potion Keeps, Arena. We only have so many things at our disposal, so we got to make these imperfect pieces perfect for our teams. And, you know, there's some little things we can do, right? I know in my arena team, I've made it as perfect as I can right now. I've got it speed tune, Deacon open, so turn meter boost, decrease defense. And then we go into Frostbringer. And she doesn't bring the frost, but she brings me an increased attack buff and increased speed buff. And then we go into Rhonda, into Alhain. It's perfect. As long as I go first, I'm pretty much going to win every single time. So that's really good, right? You know, with a lot of these dungeon keeps, I'm relying on Venomage to place poisons. Now, what would be perfect? Having more poisons. Absolutely, having another poisoner come out here would make those teams perfect, but I don't have that luxury. I don't have those champions. It's fine. It's fine. I'll bring in Elva. I'll bring in Deacon to bring me more speed, to make it easier to do. I don't have to be perfect. Don't have to be perfect. Just have to be better. That's it. So for me, you know, it's not a bad thing right now, you know, but you just got to find those little niche things. I think, you know, one champion help keep everybody alive. It could be a reviver, could be like a protection champion, but that one carry just helps everything else. Right now it's Elva. You can see she keeps reviving Outlaw Monk. She keeps healing everybody on this team. That's enough. That's enough for us to keep pushing the boundaries on this. We're about to one key hard here with this team, which I wish I did with my first key instead of my second one. But you can see we're having that, you know, powerful effect. And a lot of that has to do with Elva keeping everybody alive here. You have your one carry champion, you know. Sometimes you might need two, but at least one. And then after that, you know, you're just trying to figure out the best ways to do damage and get through things. So that's kind of the, for me, that's my approach with most of this stuff here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Not bad. Hey, just a friendly reminder, if you haven't already, take a moment and hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you don't miss the next one of these videos that comes out. And of course, if you guys need help with your account, you can go to my website, DeadwoodJedi.com, where I'll be happy to look at your squad and make whatever improvements are needed to be made. But, you know, when I'm doing that, I still want to play my own account. That's why I use BlueStacks, which you'll find linked down below in the pinned comment and description of this video. BlueStacks is a great way to run multiple instances of the game on your computer at the same time. And if you enjoyed today's music, we have that Soundstripe link down below in the pinned comment and description of this video as well. Use code DeadwoodJedi, save 15%. I will say we did make some advancements in the account yesterday too, right? It wasn't just, I don't want to just talk about that. Like we did make some small adjustments, right? We got the Fire Knight 13. I finished the whole dungeon challenge area, so we got a sacred shard out of it. That was really, you can see this arena team, nice and speed tuned, right? Working pretty effectively, I'd say. Although everybody's level 60. I mean, I'm in gold now, which is frightening. It's a little bit terrifying. I really kind of don't like it. Everybody's very strong here. I feel a little intimidated. Oof. Oof. I'm not sure whether to stay here or go down either. I'm just gonna let it kind of play out a little bit at this point. Is sort of my that's my goal I would say at this point. Yeah, none of this looks good. None of this looks good. But yeah, we sped up some of our champions and we finished ascending or rolling up all the speed boots that I had going on. I mean, that was a big thing for sure. We also, what else did we do? We advanced on Fire Knight, like I said, Force Keep, Spiders even, we got the Spiders 10. So we made some progress in a few different areas of the game. Definitely, you know, I would say grew the account a little bit. Mostly it was farming food and just leveling up champions, which is all I'm trying to do right now because I really need to get somebody to 60. Elva, like specifically to 60. It's gonna be really important, primarily because I need to be able to have some more Master and Giant Slayer procs going on, and until I start getting some level 60 champions, that's just not going to be the case. Now, obviously, I have Rhonda at 60, but she's not mastered. So, you know, my objective right now is let's get Elva to 60. Once I get her to 60, I actually might start looking at farming Minotaur. I reason why is that maybe I can level Elva up in Minotaur while getting some scrolls for Rhonda and for Venomage, who are both going to need it. So I'm thinking that actually might be the more efficient route to go. And I'm not against efficiency, even though I sound like I rail against it a lot in here. But I feel like that might be a better way for me to approach it. And we're not at that point yet, so I don't really have to worry. But I do feel pretty close to getting a champion to 60. Now, obviously, today is completely booked. I've got this bachelor party thing going on, and that's going to be kind of an all-day thing. We're doing a little top golf. We're going to be, having some fun times, getting a nice dinner, that sort of thing. A little whiskey bar at the end of the night. So today is going to be very unproductive, which is unfortunate. But tomorrow, I'm going to have a lot of stuff to do because I got the wedding this week, and I need to get it all prepped. That said, I should have time tomorrow to actually start pushing some of that stuff. So I'm hopeful by then I'll have enough champions to be able to rank somebody up, but it might be, but I might not. I really don't know. So we're going to kind of see what happens here along the way for the day. But that's kind of my approach to things, my goal at present. I'm getting whooped. I don't have a chance against these guys. Gross. These teams are gross. They're way too hard for me. Gold 4, a little bit of free-for-all. A little bit disgusting. Well, that's kind of the thing. I did yeet a shard yesterday. I should point this out. I did yeet a shard. Actually, Hell Hades yeeted a shard for me on his stream, and we pulled Miststrider Difey. It's kind of an interesting champion, and I feel like normally would be a huge addition to my team. With my squad, I have plenty of decreased defense champions, so not as great, but AoE decreased defense gets an extra turn, increased attack and increased accuracy gets an extra turn, we can remove a debuff or remove a buff and has a chance of extra turn. It's kind of a cool champion. It's got a little relentless sort of mechanics going on in this kit. Very similar to like a Whisperer or something like that. So definitely some potential there. I don't know exactly if I'm going to be using them or where, but I'm not upset to get them on my account. So you can see I'm holding my voids, waiting for a 2x. Now I think I don't always know. My account's so early that voids, especially void epics, could be really, really valuable. So I think waiting for a 2x event is going to be really helpful for me with my void shards. And so that's definitely something I want to hold on to because those can be really game-altering shards that you pull, champions that you pull. So I don't want to yeet those. I have yeeted a couple already, and I regret it almost immediately, right? So I'm definitely going to hold on to those for a little bit. We'll see where we get to. And then I did eat my steak grid, so that's, an unfortunate reality there. Eventually we'll get there. My referral program, I just want to say a big shout out to these folks for playing the game and advancing the accounts. We're almost to level 40 on at least one of them. But they're all starting to kind of make some progress, and I cannot thank you enough. When I get those epic books, it's going to make such a difference, guys. That's really all I'm looking forward to right now. So much love, much thanks on that. Keep it going. And that's where we're at. We're gonna keep it light today. I got stuff to do, guys. This is fun. I love catching up. I love talking a little bit about some of the theory crafting that goes on in these early stages. These early clan boss teams. Just get your damage in there and one person to protect them. That's really all I can ask. I would ask for, right? I mean, what else do you need? You're only looking for a couple million damage. Let the poisons do it. Let the HP burns do it. I might even be better off. Well, I don't know if I'd be better off, but maybe I'd be better off bringing Coffin Smasher instead of Deacon this early on. That's a very real possibility. I don't really want to gear them up though, so I don't think we're gonna find out anytime soon. But these are the things that's true. That's a possible thing that actually might be better because again, get decreased attack, get some passive damage going. That's all you need. So anyway, that's what we're doing. So tomorrow we're gonna be back at it. I should hopefully have a video for you. Probably be really hungover. Should be fun and enjoyable for everybody. So until next time we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.